Thank you very much, Robert Chirabonyonyo. And we are now going to be discussing something very important, and the world is seriously focusing on it. That is organic produce or organic agriculture. Now, globally, there is high appetite for organically grown foods. And many markets are banning produce, foodstuffs that have not been organically grown. How is Uganda standing? What are we doing about this? Well, joining me, I have Charlton Namuwoza, who is the CEO, NOGAM, and the President, African Organic Network. He's with me in studios, very smartly dressed, but not organically dressed, I must say. Charlton, good morning.
A very good morning, my brother. I like the joke. You can see I'm fully organic, the way I'm dressed.
I'm not sure of that cotton.
This cotton
it was grown
purely...
either with pesticides.
No. It's pure organic, but I like the joke. Thank you very much. Good morning, Ugandans, and I'm happy to be here to be having this conversation about a great topic that I have been talking about as a person for the last 20 plus years. And as a country, we have made a lot of achievements. We've attained several milestones in the world of organic agriculture, to the extent that we are the country with the highest number of certified farmers on the African continent.
Uganda?
And we are only second to India in the whole world, Uganda. And I want to thank our government.
Let's be serious. These are very interesting statistics.
Yes.
In Africa?
In Africa, we are number one. In the whole world.
With the highest certified?
The highest number of certified organic farmers. And we are only second to India in the whole world. India comes first with the highest number of certified farmers in the whole world. And Uganda is just next to India.
Now, for the benefit of our viewer, when we talk about organic farming, what are we referring to?
We are talking about the production system that is holistic, that involves the use of natural, organic inputs. We exclude the use of synthetic chemicals, inputs that harm our health, inputs that harm the environment, inputs that cause all kinds of problems, you know, global warming and what have you. So we deal with inputs at the farm level that are natural, that are organic, while of course bearing in mind that they should improve productivity, soil health, because the conventional farming proponents focus on feeding the crop or feeding the animal. In organic agriculture, we feed the soil. Because organic agriculture operates under 4 principles. And one of them is the principle of health. So we must keep in mind that the health in the soil determines the health of the plants, and the health of the animals, and the health of the humans, and the health of the whole planet. So it's one indivisible health. The second principle is the principle of ecology in the environment. We're talking about the recycling of nutrients. And that's why you see organic farmers composting, you know, turning what you'd call waste into very useful products. We see different projects now in the BSF, for example, the black soldier fly. The black soldier fly is given the waste, which ordinarily a farmer would throw away. But that waste is food for the black soldier fly. A fly, an ordinary fly, that will convert that waste into a fertilizer. And then part of the cycle of the insect, the larva, the maggot. This is what we call the maggot. The maggot is used to feed the animals. It's the best source of protein. And then you can also press oil out of that maggot and use it for different purposes. So you can see recycling of nutrients. So that's what the principle of ecology is about. Emulating nature and applying the principles of nature into organic farms. Then the principle of care. We are taking care of the current generation, but also bearing in mind that the future generation should not be denied of the very best of what we are enjoying today. So we're talking about sustainability. We're talking about applying principles or practices or technologies that will preserve or conserve the very best and make it available even for the future generations. And then lastly, the principle of fairness. Organic agriculture requires us to be careful in the way we deal with our fellow human beings, the animals, the environment, and we should take precautionary measures to ensure that we build sustainable relationships. And in doing so, we know that we should coexist and we shouldn't eliminate useful members of the environment. And that's why we promote biodiversity. That's why we promote coexistence between the different entities in the ecosystem. So fairness is about building healthy relationships between the different entities in the environment. So in summary, we are talking about practices that speak to the economics. When you do organic agriculture, you can't sit next to poverty. If you put both in the room, poverty will fly out through the windows, through the doors. And these are things that we have witnessed over the last more than 2 decades, over the last 3 decades actually, since the first certified organic project was registered in Uganda in 1993. And over the years, we've seen more and more farmers converting from just what we call traditional or what we call organic by default farming practices to purely organic. And where you have traceability, you have farmers that are documented, you have farmers that understand the standard, the do's and don'ts, things that they are required to do, and the ones that they are not supposed to do, these have to be on their fingertips. So that right in the farm, as they apply inputs, as they space or do all practices, mulching, composting, agroforestry, and trenching, and water conservation, and all these things, they have at the back of their mind what they are required to do. And then after that, there is a market waiting. So economics is very, very critical in organic agriculture. And then we have the aspect of social relationships, which we have already talked about in the principle of fairness. And then you have the environment. We protect the environment. We take care of the trees. We take care of the soil. We take care of the humans. We take care of the plants. You cannot apply chemicals and expect your tree to be healthy. Expect the animals that are feeding.
Now, Charlton, a farmer watching you now is wondering, is it possible?
Yeah.
People are so much used buying fertilizers, not organic fertilizers. They'll just go to any, they go to Container Village, they go to those village outlets, like Mpa give me a fertilizer if they don't have the cow dung. Then people use now, they have come to accept that unless you spray, any minute now I have insects, I have pesticides, I have this, give me, as long as it kills. Ugandans, you talked about registered, those that are intentional. And we have those that are in traditional farming. Now, these two are different. Traditional farming is those people that if they could afford the fertilizers, they would buy them. But because they don't, they are carrying out agriculture the way they are doing, but not following the 4 principles you've talked about. They could maybe have one, but not all the 4. But today, a farmer watching, is it still possible to grow crops? Is it still possible to rear animals with these new diseases coming up, pests coming up? Can I still have my cattle? Today we mix acaricides and pesticides to kill ticks, and all that.
First of all, let me share some statistics with you. According to the latest report released by the Ministry of Agriculture, they conducted research and established that Uganda has the least usage of synthetic chemicals in the sub-Saharan region. The sub-Saharan region uses on average 9 kgs of fertilizers per hectare. Ugandans use only 1.5 to 2 kilograms per hectare. This is the least usage of synthetic chemicals in sub-Saharan area. And as you know, the sub-Saharan Africa area is the least user of, if you like, synthetic chemicals in the world. Now, what does this tell you? The majority of our farmers are what you refer to as traditional farmers. First, they cannot afford these chemicals, number one, and very, very important. Number two, if you give them, they may use. But in their DNA, the Ugandan farmers, similar to the Indian farmers, they love nature. When you traverse the country from the east to the west and from the north to the south, farmers generally love. Recently, we were training farmers in the eastern part of Uganda who are in a place called Nakalama. We got farmers from across the eastern region. And in the class that, of course, the participants, we asked them, how many of you are using fertilizers? And 80% were not using. And this is true. In the north,
well, they're using pesticides.
In the west, true. Yes, there is some usage of pesticides, especially on sensitive crops like tomatoes, like cabbages, the vegetables generally. That's where you see the highest level of contamination or poisoning of crops, and they exceed even what is recommended. And they do this not because they know, but they believe that the more they apply, especially in those products, the better, of course, the yields and all these things. But we have demystified that impression.
That go to the markets and you find all tomatoes covered with mancozeb
and all sorts of right from the nursery, they apply. So this is where, of course, we've seen many problems here in the country. Non-communicable diseases. Cancer is at the highest rate. I was interacting with one of the doctors and said, look, my brother, I am a doctor, a medical doctor, but why am I venturing into organic agriculture? He has about 30 acres somewhere in Budondo, in Jinja district. And he said, look, 1 in 6 of my patients has cancer. Imagine, think about it. 1 in 6. This was a medical doctor, our very own. And he has nothing to do but prescribe the treatment as he was instructed in the medical school. But some of these medicines, of course, have side effects. You know, they have to go through chemotherapy and all these things. But we've also seen some of the cancer patients that have recovered when they've been put on a diet, an organic diet. And there are examples. I think in future, Robert, we'll bring some of these people here. But I want to conclude on this one by saying that it is possible to do organic agriculture in any value chain, whether tomatoes or cabbages, you know, any vegetable, coffee, and all the crops. Because the farmers that I told you about, the highest in Africa, involved in different value chains, from coffee to cocoa to vanilla, sesame, you know, all kinds of oil seeds, fruits and vegetables, herbs, name it. They are practicing organic agriculture. And these products are largely destined for the global markets. Europe, which obviously accounts for about 80% of our exports, organic exports. Then the States, United States, which accounts for 10%. And then we have other markets, the Asian tigers, you know, China, Japan, South Korea, India, then the Middle East. Middle East, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Saudi Arabia, and all the countries there, they are demanding for organics. But also the local market here. We have supermarkets like Carrefour, Capital Shoppers. If you go today and check the shelves, they have certified organic products. Some of which are imported. Some of which are imported.
I was going to tell you,
yes, some of
we match the demand, because I went to one of the organic markets that is behind American Embassy.
Yes.
After American Embassy.
In Zambia.
In Zambia.
Yes, yes, just next to.
And tomatoes were out of stock.
Yes, because of the demand. because of the demand.
Let's get serious.
Yeah.
How do tomatoes run out of stock?
Yeah.
Said organic tomatoes, because it's an organic market.
Yeah.
Ugandans should interest yourself there. If you're eating a mango, you're very sure after washing it is safe.
Yeah.
To chew. There are some of us who enjoy eating the mango the way we used to eat in the village. You take it. If it's a sugar cane, you know you enjoy getting, and that. So there you're safe that what you're eating has been organically, because they have certified farmers bring the produce there.
Yes.
So you're 100% sure. Now, for a person out there who is watching us and they want to engage in organic farming and transform away from this other farming, Charlton, how are they helped?
Yeah. So first of all, this is the good news. First, we have established an academy. We established an academy at the end of 2024, and we've started rolling it out. We have a curriculum. We've developed a master curriculum, which is now in the process of validation or improvement. And this curriculum is based on the approvals by the National Council for Higher Education. Ministry of Education has approved it. And we are making improvements because we are integrating what we call renewable energy, productive use of renewable energy into organic and regenerative agriculture practices. So that curriculum is now available as the basis for us to conduct these different trainings. So a farmer in Uganda can conveniently enroll and be taken through the process, handheld, literally taken from the first principles. How you establish an organic farm, the do's and don'ts, how you comply with the standards, how you handle an organically produced product, where the market is, how you do value addition, how you engage in advocacy, even at that level with your local leaders and others, community management of if you like, an organic community. How do you manage an organic community? So all these are key aspects of the curriculum that we are rolling out. So reach out to us, Nogamu. We are located on plot 45, Bukoto Street, Kamocha. Anytime, we are next to Millennium Terrace Hotel, and we will take you on a journey, a lifetime journey that will deliver you out of poverty into greatness. Health,
Charlton, before I have your parting shot, now we have a poll question, and it is on all our social media platforms. It is, should Uganda invest more in promoting the adoption of organic agriculture? Should Uganda invest more in promoting the adoption of organic agriculture? Now, I have a few, of course, there are many comments, but in the interest of time, let me just only read one or two. I begin with retired Captain Chitaka Mayanja from Chivoga. I'm pleased with the program because this is the gospel I'm giving out always to my farmers through Green World International. Take note, most of our farmers are on small scale. They afford to make manure. Thank you for this program. The country diverted to a very wrong direction, and the so-called intellectuals are the biggest problem of Uganda. We are not supposed to be taking fertilizers. Be with the nature God gave us. Organic farming is the way to go. Okay, then someone comes in and says, good morning, thank you, please give me your name. I'm excited over that topic. More time is needed, please. Well, we'll have the guest back some time to come. We crave for organic agriculture. Banange, allow me end at this to allow more programming and segments to move on. But let me have your parting shot, Charlton.
No, I love Ugandans, and this is what has
Seems
kept
they're very
me,
excited over the conversation.
This is what has kept me on this journey for the last, more than 2 decades. When we were celebrating our 25th anniversary last year, walking people down the memory lane, you could see we have progressed tremendously, from 10,000 farmers up to where now the latest statistics indicate over 700,000 certified farmers. And this is just a fraction of the population of farmers that are involved in traditional organic by default farming practices, which obviously could be improved a bit to, of course, bring them close to organic agriculture through traceability and documentation and all these things. So I want to thank you, dear Ugandans, for the great work you're doing out there, the great support for organic agriculture. Our mother nature requires being intentional in the way we open our land, in the way we establish our farms, in the way we build our factories, taking care of the environment and making sure that our farmers escape the trap of poverty and that we protect the environment and we build relationships that speak to sustainability. I want to thank you very much and looking forward to the next opportunity to be hosted here. Nogam loves you and we love Uganda. Thank you.
Well, a last one, thank you UBC very much for such very important topics. Can he give us his contact, Dr. Kaima Ronald from Bushenyi, if you're at liberty to do so?
Yeah. 0786 248 201. 0786 248 201. Reach out through WhatsApp, reach out through emails, and we will share all details with you. I thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Charlton. It's been a pleasure having you and discussing organic agriculture, but also thank you for the work that you started 20 years ago when we are now #1 in Africa regarding registered or certified organic farmers, and in the world, second to India. Those are very good statistics. Well, we'll now go for a break. Tourism Express next. Keep it with us.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium source, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Okay, I'm called Godfrey Okwaimungu, a staff from Nal Safari, also a resident of this city. This community is called Mubaku village. The tribe in it Alur and Bagungu, but majority are Alur. Here, how their lifestyle, what they eat, they feed on local bread and local sauce. As what has been happening right now here, they've made local vegetable. In our language, Alur is called utigo. So that bread, it is not made with cooking oil. Just what they do, they pick the leaves from the bush, then After picking, they make cooking. They make ginat or simsim seed. They grind it. After grinding, it becomes very smooth. So when they're preparing the sauce, they put hot water in the pot. In the pot. Then with the catalyst which they make, they burn ashes into a pot. Then it drills the water. They put water in it, and then it drills. Then that catalyst is used in the sauce. After the water becomes hot in the sauce in the pot, they apply the vegetable in it. Then they apply the catalyst. The catalyst make it to become slippery, and also it breaks the hard tissues of the plant. So when it is made, when it's all ready, so they apply the ginat, which they have grinded. It has become fine. They add into the sauce to make the sauce. The whole process takes like 40 to 1 hour. Then after that, the bread, it is the cassava flour. The cassava is grown from the garden, which takes like 9 to 1 year. Then they uproot it, they make it dry under sunshine. Then they pound it with the mortar. After pounding, it becomes soft in form of flour. Then they make hot water in the pot, in the pan. Then that flour they add in the water. Then they mingle the bread. It is the local bread. So after mingling the bread, the process of bread takes like 20 to 30 minutes. So they make the bread. After making the bread, they put in the plate, so they get the sauce. They also serve the food. After serving the food, they bring all the items that are prepared onto the mat. So they call the family members, starting with the kids and the elders. They all come together as one family. So everybody gather at one point on the mat. Then they wash their hands. After washing their hands, they say a prayer. After saying a prayer, then they eat. When people are many in the family, the elders, maybe the father and the mother of the family, for them they squat. The young ones sit in front, so the follows, then the elders sit behind. So they eat as one. That's how the process of food takes place in this community. Thank you. Basically, they are peasant farmers. Everyone keeps in the garden, cultivating for their own consumption. It is not for sale, they just make it for the survival. Yes, the kids, they have their games, they play. Actually, in the morning when the elders go to the garden, for them to remain grazing the goats and looking after the chicken in the family and also playing their games. So when the parents come back, they also help the parents in cooking when maybe they're taking long in the garden. So the kids, they have the opportunity, they fetch firewood, they fetch water for the family. Then in the evening, after they're done with all their work, they play before they sleep. The family gather, different families, they all come together as kids, then they play as one. Yeah. Okay, yeah, sure. Nat Safari, I take it as one of the best lodge in Uganda because I take it myself. I have worked so far in this lodge for 4 years. So this lodge, they help their staff so well in every social life, in every what you need. When you communicate with them, they are very responsible, they respond so quickly. And not only the staff, the lodges in the community, this very community, so they also help community. Like of recent, they have been picking litters in the community, the trading centers around the community, whereby they donated metallic litter bins, 4 of them in the community. And again, we have boreholes in the community whereby when they get spoiled, they have like 4 or 5 of them. When they get spoiled, the company always come in when the local council one communicate to them. They have been responding whereby they repair those boreholes. Yeah, and also we normally associate with the community boys, whereby we normally organize football matches with them to make that friendly mood with them. That's what the company always does for us, the staffs and the community, which has made the community to love the company so much.
Brought to you by
uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Welcome back from the from the Tourism Express
The training
here on
focused
Good
on
Morning
food safety
Uganda.
standards,
And for those of you that just joined us, you are watching Good Morning Uganda on UBC TV, and we are coming to you live from Nile Avenue. And of course, we are going to be talking about business matters right now. We are going to be talking about money, markets, and any other thing that matters in business. My name is Jenny Ramcha, and like I said, I am coming to you live from Nile Avenue. And in our first business story this morning, the Uganda Free Zones and Export Promotions Authority convened a strategic awareness capacity building workshop to empower the nation's horticulture and sesame exporters under the theme Enhancing Compliance for Sustainable Access to the UK and EU Markets. The event brought together the industry stakeholders seeking to address several critical challenges facing Ugandan exporters, most notably the implementation of the UK Official Controls Regulations 2025.
The training focused on food safety standards, certification, and rigorous phytosanitary requirements. The initiative aims to reduce border interceptions and strengthen the global competitiveness of Ugandan agricultural products. The focus is largely on plant health and chemical residues, with the UK and European Union maintaining strict restrictions on several substances still used by some local producers to boost yields.
The United Kingdom values its long-standing and mutually beneficial trade relationship with Uganda. A trade relationship in which Uganda gains access to a valued, stable market, while the UK benefits from quality agriculture products.
The consequences of non-compliance are severe. Rejected consignments can be destroyed at the exporter's expense, resulting in significant financial losses and potentially damaging Uganda's reputation in international markets.
So it is the effort to protect the integrity of our exports, the effort to protect the quality.
We should not look at quality now as a burden. It's a tool to access market in order to earn more dollars.
According to Henry Kasoma, head of the Uganda Fruits and Vegetable Exporters and Producers Association, Uganda has historically enjoyed an advantage in the UK market due to its English-speaking population and a sizable Ugandan diaspora. However, that advantage could quickly erode if exporters fail to comply with the new requirements.
What is happening here is that some of us, in order to maximize production, are using banned substances. Not only for UK, we are also consumers of the same stuff here. So they are regulated. They can advise for instance, some drugs, they're a bit expensive, but they are allowed to be used. And if those are found within the crops you're exporting, it is allowed, you can have them. But we are using banned substances.
To address these challenges, Uganda Free Zones and Exports Promotions Authority and the Ministry of Trade are urging exporters to seek guidance from official government institutions rather than relying on informal sources. Wadulo Arnold Mark for UBC.
Okay, thank you so much for that wonderful report. Now moving on, government has reaffirmed its commitment to supporting enterprise growth as small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, seek to leverage the available policies and infrastructure within Uganda's economy to expand and create jobs. However, the private sector has called on government to accelerate implementation of its commitments to improve the speed of delivering key interventions in the new financial year if meaningful growth in the SME sector is to be realized. The remarks were reiterated during the closing session of the 2026 Catalyst Summit held at Motive Obugolobi, where stakeholders emphasized the need for a more responsive business environment. Take a look.
If you are going to achieve a 500 billion US dollars in 10 years, it's important that we all work in a tenfold growth mode so that we reduce the bureaucracies. We are going to work on the SGL, and of course also we are investing a lot of money in connecting district to district. But above all this will work if we have a peaceful and stable environment. So you have our commitment and assurance that this country and the environment will continue to be stable and peaceful.
We'll need much commitment from government to execute projects faster. If you are constructing roads, execute it fast, because success of this budget will be judged by fast execution. It will be judged against the standard of scaling MSMEs, standard of private sector development, but also majorly transformation of lives.
Now moving on to technology dimension data, a multinational Uganda officially announced its transition to the entity data brand. This comes as Uganda's digital economy continues to gain momentum, driven by growing adoption of digital financial services, increased government focus on e-services, expanding internet connectivity, and raising demand for secure digital infrastructure across sectors, including banking, telecommunications, manufacturing, education, and healthcare. At the same time, companies are being pressured to update old systems, improve cyber security, and use new technologies like AI to improve efficiency and customer experience.
So in Uganda, what's the scope of your business, and what are the range of customers you are serving?
Currently in Uganda, the scope of business that we have is majorly in the financial sector, the telecommunication, the public sector, and the enterprise sector. In these sectors, we mostly give them the solutions like networking, cybersecurity, infrastructure, hybrid infrastructure as well. Now, with the new entity global brand, we should be able to bring the AI, digital transformation, and technology services.
So you mentioned an appetite for AI.
Yes.
I would like you to speak to what you think is driving the appetite for AI, specifically to the Ugandan context.
When I say the appetite for AI is there, people are looking into using AI to be able to make their businesses better. I'll give an example with the bank. If they use some of the AI tools, agentic AI, and you run it on your organization, you'd be able to probably capture fraud faster than if you actually manually looking for it. So you'll find someone defrauded the bank maybe in about 2 years ago, but you're now seeing it later. But using AI, you can run tools that can actually be able to help you to come up with some of these solutions faster.
The World Bank Group has launched the Uganda Country Partnership Framework and Public Finance Review 2026. The financial year 2026 to 2035 Country Partnership Framework outlines how banks will support Uganda's ambition of transforming into a modern, prosperous and competitive upper middle income country by 2040, while the Public Finance Review focuses on strengthening fiscal responsibility and improving public spending. Dennis Sigoa has more.
With Uganda poised to accelerate its socio-economic transformation, including its transition into an oil-producing nation, the World Bank Group says its support will focus on a select set of strategic outcomes aligned to the 4th National Development Plan. The support will include critical policy reforms, financing and investments, flagship knowledge initiatives, group approach to create more and better jobs.
The World Bank Group is moving towards fewer and more focused engagements and strong emphasis on results. The question is no longer how much we invest, but how effectively those investments translate into development outcomes.
According to Shi Miao Fan, the World Bank Group Division Director, translating Uganda's economic growth and natural resource endowments into more and better jobs will require addressing persistent structural challenges while advancing key reforms towards a more productive, integrated, and spatially efficient economy.
Private sector will need, you've heard from our panelists, a much more conducive, more predictable, and more certain policy environment that can help them to reduce the cost of doing business. It will require better infrastructure, more affordable and reliable electricity, and more reliable transport and digital connectivity.
The Public Finance Review and the Country Partnership Framework have been hailed socio-economic development agenda.
The Public Finance Review, Uganda enters into oil decade. It reminds us that sustainable prosperity will depend not only on oil revenues, but also on strong institutions, efficient public expenditure, enhanced domestic revenue mobilization, and continued investment in people and productive sector.
The launch also provided a platform for stakeholders to share perspectives on Uganda's economic outlook, investment climate, and priorities for accelerating private sector-led growth. Under the Country Partnership Framework, the World Bank Group aims to help create more and better paying jobs, particularly in agribusiness, manufacturing, and tourism, while expanding access to financial services for an estimated 14 million people and businesses. Maureen Babidie for UBC.
Now, thank you so much, Maureen Babidie and the team, for that wonderful report. And we hope with that, Uganda will actually transform into the middle-income country by 2040. And of course, that brings us to the end of the GMU business segment. And of course, thank you so much for being part of us this morning, for being part of Good Morning Uganda. And before I go, I want you to remember that your action, your ideas and action will actually help Uganda into a transformed middle-income country by 2040. So you shouldn't give up on the ideas and the actions to actually contribute to that. Of course, my name is Jenny Ramudsha, and we stop here. And my colleague Robert Chirabo will be coming in with a Good Morning Uganda Extra. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model, PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world